So I've been working on a bigger video for you guys lately, so that's why I haven't uploaded a long form video. That, and I've been uploading daily to TikTok now, so link down below to that. But two things caught me by surprise. One was the fact that the Threads of Light fashion magazine cover was released again, so I will be making a video going over that. And two, REEF Regalia is in the Eververse store right now for 300 Bright Dust, and I strongly recommend that you should get that shader, and I'm going to be showing you why you should get that shader. And as you guys see in the thumbnail, I made 3 guardians for you guys to help show off the REEF Regalia shader. And oh boy, do I actually really like the guardians that I made this time, especially the Warlock. So I'm going to be leaving skip links down below, that way you can jump around to whatever guardian you want. And also go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that way you don't miss any of those future videos. So let me start off by showing you my Titan. This is going to be a good representation of what REEF Regalia can do to a heavily armored guardian. So I started off with the helmet. So this is going to be the Meridian Constellation helmet, and this one I've been trying to make work for a good amount of time now, but it's really hard to make this helmet work on the male Titans. Because on the female Titans, of course, you already know that the armor sets are a lot thinner, and you don't really have to worry about how small this helmet is. But on the male Titans, you have to stick to thinner armor pieces and you don't have as much freedom. But I really wanted to use it because I knew that this would look good with the REEF Regalia shader because it is from the Season of the Lost, and I really like the way the crystal takes that purple color. It looks really nice. And from there, I actually went over to the chest plate. Like I said, I was trying different small chest plates or different small armor pieces. A lot of them looked a little bit off and didn't really match the theme of the helmet, except for the Plate of Exile. I really like the way these wraps take that REEF Regalia shader and add on that purple. I feel like it fits very nice and it still looks a little bit regal. Now the other good thing about this chest plate is for now it's not glowing because I haven't been flawless in like 2 weeks. The last week we had Iron Banner and the week before that Trials was terrible. But if you do go flawless because you can't turn that glow off, you could put on the blue glow and then it'll match these gauntlets. So the gauntlets are going to be the Virtuous gauntlets, and of course these are from that season 9 season pass. These are currently unobtainable for you guys. I'm sorry if you don't have them, but they're great. And the reason I went with these is because when I was cycling through all of these arms, this one stood out to me because of the left arm. This like little bit right here around the wrist area. It really makes the set pop and it adds that nice purple onto there where otherwise it might not show up as much. As for the legs, for these I decided to go with the RPC Valiants. Now I could have gone with something else, like for example the Reverie Dawn legs are very similar to this, but they do have a bunch of straps right here in the back, and personally I don't really like that. I think it looks a little bit too messy. So these are very clean and they look very nice with this set. If you wanted to use this set in real life, like for example I use this in the Crucible, I would actually end up switching the legs with the Dune Marchers. These also provide you with a nice purple color right here and on the Dune Marchers logo right here on the right leg. So there you go, the set is also very versatile. And as for the mark, you're going to want to use the Mark of the Great Hunt. So this one I've been trying to use for a while now, but I haven't really found the right set for it. Once upon a time, this mark really bothered me because of these like little flaps here on the side, but I've grown to actually really like it because I've seen a lot of Titans actually using this mark lately, and I've been a little bit jealous. So this mark worked perfectly with everything because it is very knight-like, and this shape right here really matches with the shape of the arms and the legs. So that's why it ended up being perfect. I do have a gripe with it though. This like long sash right here in the front and in the back, those two tend to clip into the actual armor bit, which is a little annoying, but it's definitely not a deal breaker. So yeah, that's going to be my Titan. Make sure you guys tell me what you think about it in the comments below. And now let's go ahead and move on to my Hunter. So on my Hunter, you are going to see a little bit of a difference between it and my Titan. And that is because of the gold. On the like heavily armored Titan, you don't really see that gold. You can kind of see it in these scratches, but whenever you start adding cloth the gold kind of just attaches itself onto the trim of some things. So because there is going to be gold on here, I started off using the Valkyrian mask. There's this like little golden sigil right here in front of the visor, and no matter what shader you really put on it, it doesn't change colors. So you do really have to end up working with that. And because the REEF Regalia does have that gold, it does work with it. So from there, I actually went over to the vest of the Great Hunt. And this is kind of my go-to vest whenever I try to make like a knight hunter or just a regal looking hunter. And I ended up really liking the way that this took the shader. All of the like golden bits are all focused right here around the neck area, which help balance out the golden sigil right here in the visor. So that's why I really like this. The only downside to this vest is like that you do have to use really big gauntlets with it. If you start to use anything too skinny, you are going to notice this like really big gap right here between the arms and the vest. So yeah, that was a thing. And speaking of arms, I decided to use the Oath Keepers. And one, these do have a big history with the Dreaming City and, you know, Dreaming City, Reefborn, all of that stuff. So it very much matches the theme. The only downside to these is the fact that that golden like trim color does tend to hide with these gauntlets. You do see it right here in these scratches, but it's definitely not prominent like it is on the other armor pieces in my set. But I do really like the shoulders on the Oath Keepers because those do kind of help round out this area right here, and it makes it look very cohesive and neat. As for the legs, so these are the Solstice 2020 legs, and I already knew that these work very well with the Vest of the Great Hunt. They're regal looking, and they take the REEF Regalia shader very nicely. There's tons of gold bits for it to attach onto, and it just looks very nice. And lastly, we're going to move on to the cloak. Now, this cloak is the Pathfinder's cloak from the Season of the Lost. And if you don't have this yet, I would strongly recommend that you go out and get it. It is one of the best cloaks in the game currently. And I've honestly just been waiting for like the right build to use this on, and this is it. I honestly ended up really liking it because of this like little purple trim piece right here. It looks really good with the trim around the Valkyrian helmet right here. So yeah, that's all nice and cohesive there, and that goes throughout the whole entire cloak. And of course, you still have all of the like scratchy golden bits right here that will match nicely with the scaled area right here on the Oath Keepers. And I actually like this for multiple reasons. Not only is it fashionable for me, but like my Titan, it's actually very functional. So the Oath Keepers let you kind of just hold that draw on the bow for like however long you want. And I've actually been practicing using like the Le Monarch plus the like hand cannon combo. So Oath Keepers are going to come in handy for me personally. So yeah, that is a big plus. But now let's go ahead and move on to the biggest surprise for me, and that was my Warlock. So like I said, this is going to be my happy little accident, and let me explain why I'm calling it that. Mainly because I was planning on using none of these armor pieces. I was going to use something like the Nemean robes with maybe something like the facade of the Heathen Lords, because the REEF Regalia tends to be at its best whenever there's a good balance between cloth and armor. And that's what I was going to show with my Warlock here. But my happy accident happened, and that was I noticed the Praetorian ornament and the Eater of Worlds ornament. So these two I tended to stay away from once upon a time, and that was because the ornaments for the Titan, those are hot garbage. No one really likes to use those because they are ugly, they're kind of disgusting. Although some people have made them work, and I will pop up a good image right here from my Instagram. But even though it is possible, I don't even want to try it because they're so ugly. And I thought the same was for all of the sets, like the Hunter and the Warlock. And when I finally went to go look at these are really badass. So I would give them a try if you haven't already. But yeah, to me, these look like Cabal War Priest or something along those lines. So I really wanted to play into that. And I've been also really wanting to use the Gunsmith's Devotion robes. The reason I haven't used these before is because I thought that the perfect build for these was already made. and that was these combined with the Nezrek Sin ornament. I forgot what it's called, but I'll pop it up here on the screen. And I'll also pop up a picture of one of my mod Sniper who made a build with that, and that's basically what I wanted to make until I saw this helmet. So I really needed to play into that War Priest vibe. So I used these robes, and I went ahead and I used these celestial gloves. These were just kind of thin and armored, so it looked pretty good. There was not too much thought to put into these. They just looked good. But the legs is where I kind of struggled a little bit. Originally, I was going to use the Legatus boots, and while they still work pretty nicely with this actually, I also tried out the base boots for those, which are the Perfectus, because I did want to put in a little bit more purple down at the bottom to kind of help balance out all of this. But I didn't really like it because of the shade of the purple. It was throwing me off a little bit too much. It was a little bit too pink for my liking. So that's whenever I put on the Nemean boots. These accomplished two things for me. One, it gave us a lot more armor right here around the shin area, which made it a lot more interesting. And two, we got the purple that we were looking for right here on the side. Although it's not too noticeable, it's there and it does help balance out all of the purple up here. From there, we went over to the bond, and there are a good amount of choices for this. And one of them that I decided to use was the Tethering Void. The first one I was going to use was the Legatus one. It does have that like Cabal feel to it. It does have like a big shield right here, and it did look very warlike, but it wasn't perfect. So I went looking some more, and I actually almost used the Kairos Function Bond. This one I got from Zur not too long ago because he was selling the old Kairos Function was from Venus? I don't remember. I'll pop it up on the screen somewhere if I need to. But yeah, this bond also worked out very nicely. I like the gold color right here and the purple right here. The only downside was like that little strip of blue. While no one will judge you for having that, it did bother me just a little bit too much. And besides, there is another bond that was perfect, and of course that's the tethering bond that I mentioned. The reason I really like this, and I feel like it fits better than any other bond, is because of this triangle pattern right here. It matches with the triangle pattern right here in the gunsmith robes, and you can see it right here throughout the set. So yeah, that bond just ended up matching very nicely, and it also ended up shading very nicely with that REEF Regalia shader. And just like that, my little happy War Priest accent ended up happening. And honestly, this is one of the Warlock builds that I really want to keep for a long time. So yeah, make sure to leave me a comment if you agree with me or disagree. Maybe you have some suggestions for the legs, because I'm not like completely sold on the Nemean boots. We might be able to switch those out for something else, maybe like an exotic or something. So yeah, I'll keep my mind open to that. Okay, so that's going to be it for the video today. Let me know which of the 3 guardians you like the most. Also, if you guys want to show me whatever you're creating with REEF Regalia, there will be a link down below to my Discord server. And since we're on the topic of my Discord server, if you like Destiny 2 fashion contest, I will be having one this weekend, and it's going to be all about shaders. So we're going to be working with all of these shaders for the Season of the Lost. And we are at like 9,000 members in that Discord server now, and we're slowly creeping up on 10,000 members. I'll probably do something special for that. But go ahead and also hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And I would also like to remind you guys, if you want to support me in a different way, I do have a Patreon now, which includes perks like fashion help from me, and it also includes your name at the end of every single video, like you're about to see now. Thank you so much to the 11 people that have already become members. And Guardians, as always, click on any of the videos popping up in the end card now. I will see you in the next video, and don't forget, stay beautiful.